Alright, so this is day one, remodeling the new facility. There was a body shop, as you can see, and there were some offices and stuff in the front. So we're gutting the entire building. Got a couple of dumpsters here, and a couple of demolition crews, and we're gonna build a new showroom and office in the front, but it'll be mostly shop. And so right now they're taking out all the fiberglass insulation, all the building materials, everything. We're going to get it down to the empty shell. Then of course we'll spray foam the walls and the ceiling, and because I really believe in that stuff. And we'll epoxy all these floors. And we did keep one lift just for fooling with our trucks and whatnot. Gonna have to patch these holes back here where they had exhaust fans. And tearing out all that fiberglass, boy, I wouldn't want that job. That's rough. These guys are work animals. They're getting it done. So once this place is empty, I'm gonna come back in here and start making it look new. So we are seeing progress. I'm pretty happy. Hey, look at this ancient oil furnace. Gotta get that big monster out of here too. That's where all the offices were up front. Gonna have to relocate this electrical panel to the outside wall. Look at this huge pipe that ran across the wall. So I'm gonna reframe all here, and we'll just cut that and bring it straight up into the panel there. And so across the front here is where the office and showroom will be, kind of like it was, but just got to make it a little more to our needs, a little more suited for us, you know. But we're getting somewhere. And as always, poor little Jimmy. All right, so the end of day one. Demolition began today. We just took control yesterday, actually. So we kind of got in and looked around a little, had the dumpsters delivered, but today was the first real day of getting anything done. So I'm going to take a quick look in here and see what all's happening. It's a big project. It's definitely going to take some time, quite a bit of money. So it looks like a lot of those existing offices are torn out, and some progress has been made. They got all of the fiberglass insulation off of the building to accommodate the spray foam. So as soon as we get the rest of the demolition done here, which means all that wood has to go, all that structure, down to the bare walls. I'm going to come in here with water and pressure washers and wash all this down, get all the dirt on the floor, and squeegee it all out. So this is going to be quite a better facility for us. And as I said before, the showroom, it's only going to go from right here over. So that all in there is going to be more storage, racks for, you know, ducting, supplies, etc. And so bathrooms are both getting redone. One will face in for the office, and this one will be back here for the shop. And all of this corner over here will be HVAC supplies. And this corner over here will kind of do a little bit of extracurricular activities in there. Kept the one lift. I'm going to put a small lift right here. Little scissors lift we have. Play with a few automotive things over in that one corner, but primarily the facility will be HVAC business. And I can come in there on my time off, what little I get, and play with a couple of cars. So, pretty good progress for day one. The body shop owner that sold me the building has moved right down the street, so luckily he doesn't have too far he has to move. And so we have big plans back here in the back too, and I've given them some more time to get all this cleared out. And so those holes got to get patched in the back there before we can spray foam. So quite a bit of work to be done, but I'm fairly satisfied with what took place with one day of work. Pretty happy with that. And there's our basement, and that'll be other stuff going on in there. So right now they're waiting for the metal to show up, which they hope will be by midday tomorrow. And they're going to get back here and patch these two holes, and the roof I'm hoping comes this weekend. They're talking like it will, and at that point we're going to make some serious progress forward. So this guy's going to have a hard time getting all this stuff out of here. Got one cool old vehicle here, an old Chrysler Imperial, it looks like. That thing is, a lot of it is still there. Sure is. Not really what interests me, but some car enthusiast would probably like this whole thing. I guess at one time it was probably pretty nice. Old Mustang body there. So, as you can see, there's quite a bit that has to happen here before we'll have control back here. That building goes away. He's taking that with him. So what our hope is to do is to pour a slab over there along that fence line, 30 deep and 50 wide, and put another little metal building there, and then that'll complete our facilities. That container will be going That's something of his, you know, the body shop guy has that. Hopefully he gets going here pretty quick on all that, but I'm happy that he got out of the big shop up top fast enough for us to get things going. Day 2 tomorrow. Let's see what they can do. Okay, so looks like the guy is welding on the wrought iron. Both dumpsters are completely full, and they could not come and dump this one today like I wanted them to, so there's a big pile of stuff right there beside it waiting on the new dumpster. So hopefully they get here and dump that pretty quick. So we've got the building pretty much gutted, and the roofing company has brought their lift and all their insulation and board that goes down first, and the TPO basically is a roll of rubber that'll go on the roof everywhere. So now what it's time to do, as soon as they get all that out of here, and they're starting tomorrow morning, is we're going to come in here and just wash this whole place down with a hose. Everything has, like all those beams, has like huge amount of dust build up over the years. So the guys that were tearing the floor up in here, getting all the tiles and whatever else was down, really had no way to throw it in a dumpster either. So framers will be here tomorrow to start framing these outside walls first, and we're going to frame all the outside and then take a step back and wait till the roof and the spray foam is done. Then we're going to come in and frame all the rest of the office. So we are making progress. And I had them leave this 1 3-4 foot section of wood up just to hold the power box for now, so that we could have one hot outlet and still some power to work with. As you see, I cut all the others. So looking forward to getting this wall framed, and the electricians moving the box over there and get the spray foam in here, and then we'll eventually have the floor epoxied. It's going to be a nice place. Hopefully nobody comes along and offers me more money than I can afford not to sell and I have to move again, but moving on pretty good. We'll check in at the end of the day tomorrow. So there's a quick little update. All right, got a lot going on today. Got the roofers there. So putting on the new TPO roof. Let's go inside and see if the framers are in there getting any work done at the same time. I hope so. Well, they got a bunch of guys up here working. First time I ever saw one of those. Let's go inside and see what they're doing. I wonder if that's the proper kind of lift to do that with. He's up there on a busted up crate on a forklift. These guys are crazy. So they got all the framing done that we can do right now. So we're just about ready for spray foam.
Protection and even more savings. Progressive. And that's it. You'll have that for the rest of your life.
Got the new panel in. Took that big pipe out of the floor. So I'm glad to see the new panel in. Glad to see that big pipe going out of the floor that went over there. All the outside wall framing is done. Getting ready to put the door in just a few minutes, and we'll be ready for spray foam. Looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy at this point. So originally, when this building was built about 40 years ago, AFC meant something. I don't know what it means now, but it's going to get torn up and be a flat floor in there. And almost every one of these was busted. Had to weld all this back and do some grinding on it. And I had the guy coming behind grinding. He was trying to make it all look real good. I finally just told him, look, that's good enough. Quit spending all day on one joint, you know. But we got it all back solid now. So they're going to do some light sanding on it, some of this rust. And this will be an oil-based paint here. I just can't decide on the color, if I'm going back black or if I'm going to do the dark gray that's on the bottom part of the building. I'm probably going to do that. It's probably going to be dark gray, and then from the windows down will be the dark gray, and then the light gray on the top. So I'm happy with the progress. Everything's doing pretty good. Right around here we've got some work to do. Some landscapers are coming to do some stripping and cleaning back here. And I'm not sure if I'm going to pour a pad or what I'm going to do right here. I think I will. The gas meter goes right there. So they had a tap from the street and never hooked up the gas to the building. So we are definitely going to. So we need a pad here for the two 20-seer units. We'll have a 20-seer 4-ton, which is probably still too big for the warehouse because that spray foam plus the insulated roof, it's not going to have much of a load on it. And then we'll have a 2-ton 20-seer for the office and showroom and bathrooms. And down there is where the paint booth exhaust is. This is some rough terrain back here, so we want to get it cleaned up and make it a little better. So right now that's the only 3-phase motor in the house, and it's going to remain the only 3-phase thing here, it looks like. Maybe if I get a compressor one day that's bigger than any of the ones I've got as far as air compressors go, and I may have a 3-phase line run over to the other side of the building for it. But for right now that's all we need. Power is roughed in and we're ready to start running wires everywhere as soon as we get it framed up. So hopefully we'll see some more progress tomorrow. Yeah, it's crazy. One of them's leaning over the roof, laying down. The other one's on top of a forklift or a lull, whatever you call that thing. Whatever it takes to get the job done, I guess. So first they patched it like that, and their boss is not happy with that.
Shove it right up underneath here.
So
Shove it all the way up, and wherever it drops from there is where it stops.
he's going to make them cut longer pieces.
We ain't building a piano.
Take that down and make them go all the way up under the gutter there, under the edge of the top, which I agree with. So they're going to take those longer pieces and put them up there and do a better job. Hopefully they cut an angle on the top. These boys are crazy. Not for all the money in the world. I don't think I'd do that. I got one piece all the way under it, so it's going to be a lot better.
Toda la pieza. Hey, I got the pen. I got the pen.
See if I can hit him.
Trent is the man.
Whoops. All right, they got them both fixed. With some taller pieces now, so I think that's going to be better. Won't get any water behind there. The spray foam inside certainly seals it, and probably would have never got water inside, but I don't really want it getting trapped between the building, you know, and the foam itself. So had a pretty good day. Anyway, about ready to get rid of the second load of the dumpster there. So we are moving right along. All right. Painters are trying to get it ready. And they're in here washing out the inside. Let's go see if that's getting anywhere. We're trying to get it clean to get ready for that spray foam. There's all the junk they're pushing out now. Painters are out here burning the midnight oil. Told them to go home, but they're out there working. AFC, I still haven't figured out what that is. He's over here patching holes in the brick, getting ready to spray it. Trying to get another coat on. That's just block filler there, block seal. He's trying to get another coat on before the rain tomorrow. So he's going to use these lights and stay out here tonight. Alright. Check in at the end of the day tomorrow when the electricians are done, see what they got done. Okay, the weekend is here. And We got pretty good production so far at all these crews. They were some really good guys. So one dumpster's gone, we don't need it anymore. We're gonna let them empty that one more time and then sit it out front here so we can clean up down that way. And the painter has got his block seal, he calls it, primer on the front of the building. We're just waiting on gutters and these end caps of sheet metal that goes around this new TPO roof. And at that point, we're going to get serious with the paint outside. And I got to get over here and clean all this up. You can see our electricians has dropped out our two 10-2 wires for disconnects. So right here, this front one will be a 2-ton 20 SEER machine, and then that'll be a 4-ton. So the 2-ton is obviously going to be for the showroom and the office, and the 4-ton will be back for the shop area, and it'll be plenty big enough with all of that spray foam and everything else we're doing. So let's go in here and see if any of the water's dried up and get this place opened up. So we can try to get it dried out. And we got water still everywhere in here. So it's Sunday afternoon, and Monday morning is when the spray foam guys want to get started. So I'm gonna have to do a little squeegee work here and thin this water way out. You can see all the low spots we've got in the concrete. And once we do that and get it thinned out real good, hopefully it'll dry out and be dry in here for him in the morning. To move that roll back outside so it don't get all foamed up. Let's see what the electricians did. Okay. So our new panel still doesn't have a cover, obviously. So they covered it with cardboard. And we've got a few pieces of conduit going out of the top. Now I told them the ones that were important to get in there right now is anything that goes in these outside walls. So they've got all of our, our regular wiring here strung through just for receptacles and switches and whatnot. Just basically that's bare Romex. And this will be a quad here. There'll be 4 receptacles in that box. And there will be 4 in that box. 4 in there. And one of these over here is for my welder, that one. And there's 4 more receptacles there. So the lift right here where we can work on our trucks and some of my extracurricular toys. I think they got one of these, I think there it is up there. Conduits run down here for that, and they're going to pipe the rest of the way into that. There's the one for the welder. And all these others, they ran pretty nice. I was pretty happy with it. They ran them right under the bottom side here of the rail, just this outside frame, so that was okay with me. It was fine like that. So we'll get this spray foam done, and then the framers will be immediately back, and get this wall in and that wall in, and we'll have the showroom kind of off in its corner where it's going. The 2 bathrooms, and then that's all that gets framed in here. Okay, so the spray foam people had a little mix up on their type of foam or whatever, and they didn't have enough of the closed cell type that's going in here. So they got over here and started cleaning out their hoses and their gun, and then they realized they didn't want to get started without enough to finish all this. So they're going to start in this corner obviously first. They've got their tarps down, and they've gone around and put tape over all the little holes. So that's really all that's necessary to do, is just a little piece of tape just to hold it. And you saw as hard as that foam was that I was stomping on it. So once it's in there, it'll be a pretty good tough barrier. And I'm not totally through with the electrical, and I need to get a couple things in so below this panel, so I went ahead and covered that. They just covered the panel, and I covered the whole chase. And I'm waiting on the guys to get here. We're going to run line sets in these outside walls. We'll have a 2-ton unit towards the front, so we'll have one line set just coiled up there and hanging. Then we'll have a 4-ton unit for all that in the back, and so that line set will come across and hang somewhere out there, and we'll probably bag those off just to keep them from spraying all over them. This out here, of course, will be covered in plywood and painted, and so will that, and all the outside of the showroom and office here will be covered in plywood. And I tell you what, you don't really want to buy any plywood or really any kind of wood right now. It was outrageous. I just don't think there's any way anybody could guess how much money sitting on the back of that junky old rollback right there. But that pallet of 1/2-inch plywood was outrageous, and we got to go pick up a little more. We're going to use 3/4 on the roof of this interior roof, you might call it, of this showroom that's going right here. We're going to have 3/4 up there. All right, he's getting ready to test out his rig and get it done. So we got these line sets and gas line in here just in the nick of time. So this one goes to the office. That's a little 2-ton, so I've got a 5/8 line in there and a 3/8 liquid, of course. And we ran a drain line because that unit will sit up here right around where those lines are up on top. This one will go to the back to the 4-ton, and we'll just take the drain out that way for it, so didn't have to put a drain line in it. So I'm just going to let him foam that up and see what we got. So the gas line here is 3/4 track pipe. We're switching from gas tight to track pipe. I don't really like it, but that's what the supplier is giving us now, and I'd rather stay with the same supplier than I would have to buy one thing somewhere else and the rest of it, you know. Just unfortunately you have to make sacrifices sometimes. So we're getting ready to add some nitrogen to that line and test it and see if it holds. Here's our line sets here, and the concrete guy's supposed to be here sometime today to see what it would take to bust this up and get it out of here and pour us one slab here, and probably going to get it poured right to the end of the brick there. So quite a mess out here to be cleaned up first. Diesel power. Going pretty good now for a few hours. I guess he's doing the part that he can stand up and do first. Tell you what, this stuff really is tough. Earlier today when we were hitting on this wall, you could just see it shake, the whole brick wall. And when we were knocking these holes through, even though I drilled them first and knocked through, you could just see the whole wall vibrate and shake. And it's not even done halfway up. And all that is gone. I mean, it is definitely adding strength. So we're looking pretty good. He's probably going to go all the way around here from what he can do standing up, and then he'll get on his scaffold there, and one of us will roll him around, let him get all the top and the roof. So they're a little bit behind schedule. They said they were going to spray till dark, so I'm pretty sure they'll get back here in the morning and we'll be finished and ready to start framing up there. Start getting everything else done that we want to get done. Yeah, he's trying to dodge those pipes. Not like we really care about that. All that gets covered up anyway. bitty places hard to get. Tell you what. Some good stuff right there. I really like it. It's one thing I wouldn't want to do is roll that block seal over that brick. I've been watching that, boy. It is hard work. That's got to be hard work on the arms right there. Of course, he ought to be able to arm wrestle pretty good for a skinny little old fella. Alright, this is either day 8 or day 9. To be honest with you, I'm losing count. But we're doing pretty good. The painter is doing pretty good outside. I'm happy so far with what he's doing. And I told him to wait till last to paint that wrought iron. And the concrete guy is a little bit held up. It's coming to pour us a nice pad there for our units, but nonetheless, that's okay. And we've tested the bottom color, and that's just a little bit too green, and that should be a little bit more of a bluish type gray, slate gray, a real dark gray. So I think somehow the colors got mixed up at the paint store, or maybe it just needs another coat. He said he would look at that. He's gone back after his first coat and patched in all of his places, and he's done some work to a few places on this side too. And so here's the electrician's got his wires out for the lights. We've got all new metal on this side, and we patched those back ones. All of the spray foam is 100% done. All the way around the whole shop, front and back. So I'm happy with that. And the framers came back today and framed up the office and the showroom. So this area here is just kind of going to be testing and benches and maintenance on our equipment and so forth. And we heard a rumor that 410A was going up a good bit next week. So I went ahead and purchased a couple of pallets, and they only brought us one. So I don't know what happened. But rather than take them all the way to the warehouse, we just put them in here since we're now able to start locking up. And we're not going to put much in here because the floor guy is next. He's coming in here to start sanding and scraping and grinding these floors and getting them flat and doing the epoxy treatment. So here's the showroom. It's 20 foot wide and 30 foot long. So, and it's got a deck over it. So we're ready to go ahead and rough it in for the HVAC. We'll put 3 vents across the front, one over that door and one over this door. And we framed in our 25 by 20 filter grill area right down there at the bottom. The thermostat will be right above it. Here's the bathroom walls that are going to be going up tomorrow morning. Now they made one mistake. That door's not supposed to be that big. So that's a big door there, a 3.0 door, just like that one in the front. So the front door I did want that size, and that door out into the shop area. This door here is not supposed to be quite this big. So they're going to add some framing and fix that. They're going to go ahead and frame the 3 rooms here, the little safe room here for the electrical area, and there'll be a wall right here. And So that'll basically be a small room there, a bathroom there for my office, and then a bathroom here in the back for the shop. So that's all going to work out pretty well. So we got a guy coming in just the next hour or so to cut me a slit in this concrete floor. And what I realized, my desk goes right there. And so what I realized is I didn't want a bunch of wires everywhere. So we're going to run a couple of small pieces of 3/4 conduit right along that line there and bring them up in the wall right down there. And I'm going to add a receptacle that'll go underneath the desk for the computers, and then there'll be another pipe to run network wire and HDMI for the screen behind us and such as that. So when you start from scratch, you get a little bit better chance to plan everything out, and you can get it a lot more, you know, the way you want things. But I'm happy with the progress at this point. Like I say, I did lose count of the exact days. I'd have to look at a calendar and figure it out, but I think we're still under 10 days here of construction and remodeling, and I'm pretty happy about that. So now that all of this back here is done, the guy's going to come first of next week and take that door down and install the remote control insulated door. So we're just giving that door back to him. We don't have any use for it. And then this whole place will be conditioned. And so we're moving right along. I'm pretty happy with it, but yeah, now you see the reason that haven't really, last couple of weeks, haven't been able to make many videos and put them up. I've been absorbed with getting all this handled and done. But I'm feeling pretty good about it. So we'll let another week or so of work go on, and I'll make another little update clip. Thanks for watching.